just your regular brown girl in Japan. And the last time my friend Shreya was here, people were asking about how did she become a professor in Japan. So Shreya, could you please give a little introduction to our audience who's new to our channel?
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shreya Santra and I'm an assistant professor at Tohoku University. I work in space robotics research.
And how exactly did you come to Japan?
So I came in Japan back in 2018 as a PhD student.
Okay, so after your PhD was completed, did you apply for this position within the same lab?
My PhD was about to complete. I knew that there was a position opening up in the lab for assistant professorship, and when I had all my requirements fulfilled, all the publications done, I applied for the position. After the usual interviews and submission of documents, I was confirmed to join as an assistant professor.
What are the requirements for the application process, if you could elaborate a little bit?
So usually the university or the lab would have a position available and they would advertise it on the website or internally, and if the PhD student or a postdoc is interested, they can apply for this position with recommendation from the professor under whom they are working currently. That's how it works. It's very internal process, and you are applying it within the same university. But if you are applying for assistant professorship in another university, you communicate with the university and the professor who requires the faculty, and then through usual process of interviewing and application, you can get to it.
So how long did the entire application process take for you?
Yeah, I would say 3 to 4 months if you are within the same university, because it's much easier. If you are applying for a different university, that might take longer, and the preparation should start at least half a year before, a year before.
So is there a certain kind of profile, like if you have more publications, does it help you to get the position?
Yes, definitely. Academics career all depends on your publications and your achievements throughout your PhD, and if you have a postdoc, that also helps. The minimum requirement for PhD in our engineering department at Tohoku University is like 3 publications. So if you have completed the 3 publications in good high impact peer reviewed journal or conference, you are good to apply, so you're eligible to apply. And of course you should have positive recommendations and references of your professors and supervisors under whom you have worked.
I see. And after your application is shortlisted, you said about the interview. So how does the interview look like? What kind of questions do they ask?
In terms of the interview, it's mostly general questions, so about your PhD journey. So what kind of researches you did during your PhD journey, if you did some collaborative research or exchange, how did you do it, what were your experiences, and then on more of your future plans. So usually with the application you also submit a research proposal. They ask you questions on that research proposal. What are your plans? What is the main problem that you want to solve through your research? How are you planning to do it? How are you going to get the funds?
I see. And is the position really competitive? How many people usually apply for one position?
So if it's a very popular lab and if it has been advertised, very competitive. If you are the only candidate who are graduating from PhD in that lab and you have a position available, then it becomes easier to just get that position.
I see. And when you get the position, for how long do you get it for? Is there a contract or is it permanent?
If you are recruited by the university, then it would be 5 years contract, and every year you get a raise in the salary and some promotional benefits. If it's project based, then it would be only for those number of years for the project. So
I see.
Yeah.
So the contract is usually stated before they employ.
Yes.
I see. Okay, and talking about the salary, could you elaborate what would be the entry level salary for somebody who did their PhD and now joining as an assistant professor?
If it's a public university, like Tohoku University is a public university that would start from anywhere between 5.5 million to 6.5 million per year. Private universities, I believe the starting salary is slightly low.
Let's talk about more about your work. So, what are some day-to-day responsibilities as an assistant professor, you would say?
My day-to-day responsibilities usually include in the morning probably doing my own research, writing papers or doing some experiments on my own research, and then in the second half I would spend more on guiding the students, doing more meetings, team meetings, and understanding what they are doing, update them.
And do you also teach courses?
I take some courses every semester, very basic undergrad courses, so it does not take much time.
And what is the work culture like? Do you have a good balance or is it stressful? How is it?
For me, it's been very good, very well balanced, mostly because I did my PhD there, so I kind of got used to the work culture, and environment is very friendly and international. Also, my supervisor has been very kind to work with, so there are no expectations of like staying too long or working over the weekend or something. Of course, if we have a project that has a deadline approaching, we spend a lot of time working, interacting with the students, because I've learned a lot from them. That way, it's a very nice environment and I'm very happy.
Nice to know. So this is up to you. You decide your own.
Yeah,
work
so so as per the contract, it's hours of work, and at the end of the month, you have to submit a work report. And if you worked over the specified number of hours, you have to justify why you worked it for those hours. So it's up to me how much I work. And I think it also, in Japan especially, it also depends on the lab, and when someone is choosing the lab, whether it's for PhD or postdoc or as a faculty, it's very important that they know that some labs can be very stressful. And we all know like Japan is very famous for extreme working and overworking culture. So before applying, or if they should interact with the students or the other members of the lab and know what kind of expectations are required from them.
And if somebody is coming from outside Japan, if they want to come to Japan and join academia, what do you think they should do?
Someone is interested in coming to Japan to study, I would say first apply for masters and PhD, or masters or PhD. And then after PhD, of course, there are options to work in Japan as well, because now Japan is like promoting more international recruitments in R&D sector of different companies. Otherwise, you can go for postdoc or assistant professor faculty positions. And if someone has not done a master or PhD in Japan, then the best way to enter is to come for postdoc. So there are many fellowships, and also JSPS offers many postdoc positions in different institutions across Japan. So
are these positions advertised on social media?
Yes, they are usually advertised on the university website. Professors, if they want to get international postdocs, then they would advertise on LinkedIn, or there are some other research circles for Japanese professors, they would advertise it there.
Okay, Shreya, that was a very insightful talk. Thank you so much for coming to the channel and sharing your experience. I hope people can learn something from it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was really nice talking about these topics, which are like really important, and people don't know how to get into academics in Japan. It's a bit tricky compared to the West. So if anyone is interested, they can watch this video, and also available